Hello everybody, this is Tango, and today I have a new type of potion brewing system for you, designed for Minecraft 1.9. Now, this design is unlike many of the other ones out there in that it will brew a single type of potion automatically and continuously as long as it has all the necessary ingredients that it requires. So, what this means is that you're never really going to have to wait for a potion to brew again. You just simply come up to this chest here, grab whatever potions you want out of it, and the system will automatically kick on, start brewing the next batch to keep this chest automatically filled for you for whenever you want potions. So once you put your ingredients in, this design requires absolutely zero effort to operate. There's no on-off switch, there's no levers to configure or anything like that. It's just ultra simple, which is what I know a lot of you guys, including myself, really like. But the best feature I think personally about this design is that it's only going to start brewing a batch if it has all the ingredients, which to put it another way, it means it's never going to attempt to start partially brewing a batch while it's missing ingredients, which a lot of designs will do. And then you'll have like this either broken batch or worse, the brewing stand will get jammed up and you're gonna have to go in there and manually clean it out, and you just got a whole mess on your hands. This one isn't gonna have any of those problems. So as many of you probably know already, brewing in 1.9 requires blaze powder as kind of a core ingredient for the brewing stand. So this design easily accommodates for that. You can see all the inputs are kind of lined up nice and easy here. You got your water bottles there and your core ingredients. It is a trailing netherwort system, which I'll go into later, but the netherwort does need to be at the top. There's also a nice little feature here with the lights, as you can see. Those lights will turn on when the system is missing or out of any one of its ingredients. Kind of a friendly way at a glance for you to just know that it's out of an ingredient. You need to restock it if you want it to continue brewing. So it's got a lot of nice little convenience features. The brewing stand is fully exposed. No mystery about what's going on down there at all. And yeah, personally, I think I could imagine a room full of these modules lining along the walls there, so that you have any potion you could ever want, fully available, double chest, auto repopulate. What do you say we get moving on that tutorial? All right, let's get started on this thing. So this is going to be a 7-block wide build. So this can be whatever floor design you want right here. On one side, come over and out 2 blocks like that, and then build it up 6 blocks, 3, 4, 5, 6. Repeat it on the other side, out 1 block, and then up 6. And then from the top, come back a block just like that right there, and bring that down a total of 4. Repeat it on the other side like so. And then from the front here, grab a couple stairs, 1 there and 1 there. Again, you should be looking something like this right now. And then grab some redstone lamps and put 3 of them across the top, just like that. That's going to be your indicator letting you know when you are out of supplies. And then go ahead and just cap off the ceiling here. I prefer slabs, but obviously you're free to do whatever you want there. And you should be looking like this. All right, go ahead and swing around to the back side now, down toward the bottom here, and we're going to make a little holding area for our output chest. So add a couple blocks on either side like that, and put a double chest nestled right in the middle there. Grab a hopper, shift-click it into the back of that guy, and grab the big old burn stand and plop it down right on top of that hopper there. Grab a couple more hoppers, 1 on that side, holding shift, and 1 on that side, getting them, making sure they're pointing into the brewing stand there. And again, double check, make sure this hopper here is pointing into your output chest. Grab another hopper and shift click it into that guy right there, so he's pointing into him. Grab a dropper now and point it down into that guy. He doesn't technically need to be pointing down into him, but I like to just for cleanliness. That's going to be your input for your blaze powder. Now grab some chest and make a double chest on top of this hopper sitting right like there, so it's hanging off a little bit. That's going to be your water bottle input. Now grab some 4 more droppers, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are going to be your primary ingredients, including your netherwort. And grab some hoppers and shift click them on top of the brewing stand. So the first one will be below your bottom dropper there, and then 4 more in front of each of the droppers there. So those droppers are going to fire into these, and the items are going to cascade down and feed into the brewing stand. So now we have a very important little step here. In this bottom hopper, the one right above the brewing stand, we need to go ahead and put 22 items of something that can't go into a brewing stand, so cobble or dirt or anything like that. It's got to be a block that stacks up to 64, and go ahead and align them just like this, and they should stay right inside there without going down. That's going to allow the items to come down so that when one netherwort comes down, it's not going to like stack up with the one already in there. So we can only have 1 item in here at a time, which is going to be key to the design. Now's also a good time around the front here. You can go ahead and put on your item frames on top of all these guys. Enjoy the new sound effects that you just got in the latest snapshot. Let's see, we're going to do water bottles right there. We're going to do blaze powder right there. And I'm going to set this up as a healing potion, so I'll put my melon there. I'll make it a tier 2 with a glowstone, and then we'll make it a splash potion. And then the nether wart needs to be the topmost. So the items you place here need to be processed, are going to be processed from bottom up. So do it in the way that they're going to be put into the, they're going to go through the normal recipe process, with the one major exception that the nether wart has to be at the top. So if you're going to be making just a 3-ingredient potion, like if you didn't want to make this a splash potion, then just put the nether wart in this slot here and leave that one empty. And later on, I'll cover how to change the design a little bit to disable that slot there. But there you go. Okay, go ahead and swing it around the backside again, and what we're going to do now is build some of the framing and redstone around these hoppers that is going to fire our droppers in the correct sequence that we need them to fire in, which is going up vertically, but I'll explain more of that in a second. So grab a slab and stick it right there, and then put a block coming out on an angle, just like that. Grab a couple more slabs and kind of swing them around so that they stay flush with that block, and then just go ahead and repeat that whole thing up 2 more blocks. So another slab there, block coming up right there, and then go ahead and do the same process with the slabs coming around like that. So let me show you what we're looking at here from all sides. Should be pretty straightforward. Come out another slab right there, full block coming up on an angle like that, and a slab right there. So the redstone's going to come out here and hop up. So grab some repeaters now and put one there, and one there. And I'll put them all on 4 ticks. All right, and then all the other spots, you're going to be putting some redstone in. So down there, down in the pit there, leading into that block there, up there, and all around. So what we're doing here is getting around a budding issue with droppers. So if we just powered all of these droppers at the same time, the first time they would all fire, but what happens is, like, every other dropper would still remain bud powered for some reason, even after all of them are unpowered. So the next cycle through, half of them wouldn't fire because they would think that they're already powered. So instead, what we need to do is kind of send our signal and stagger it. And that's what these repeaters is going to do. We're going to have a short little, like, 1-tick pulse that's going to fire that block there, then that block, then that block, then this block over here. So sequentially firing the droppers going up, but only one dropper will be fired at a time, so there won't be any budding issues. So there you go. You got all your repeaters on 4 ticks, and your redstone here is ready to go. Okay, down toward the bottom here now, we're going to add a couple of our detection lines. So first one is going to be coming off the side of the hopper that's leading to the output chest there, and grab a comparator and stick it out of that thing like that. Come over like a little L-shaped pattern like that, and then come up, stair-stepped 2 blocks just like that, and spike a torch on top of it. And you're going to grab some dust, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what this is doing a detection on the output hopper. So when that gets more than 2 potions in it, that means that the chest is full. And when the chest is full, we want to stop producing more potions. So a signal length of 4 will indicate that the chest is full, which is going to disable this torch here, and that'll lead on to some more redstone, which we're going to get to in a second. So that's the first of our detection line. Again, detecting when the chest is full to stop. Now, a couple blocks right there. What we're going to do is detect when our water bottles are missing now. So a comparator right there coming away from that chest with a dot of redstone on it, and a torch right there like that. And again, that's going to kind of share this and steal the same line as the one we just did. When this is empty, which it is now, that torch is going to be on, and it's going to power the same line. So there you go. All right, keeping it going now, we are going to do a little bit more of the detection logic on the bottom side down here where it's a little bit crowded here. So grab a solid block and put it right up against that top hopper, or the hopper that is right above the brewing stand. And then right next to and below that, put a slab just like that, and another block right up and over one just like that, and grab a comparator and put it right on that slab. So this comparator is going to be reading the contents of that hopper there behind that block that has the 19 or the 22, 23, whatever it is. I can't add 19, 20, 22, yeah, 22 items that are in that hopper there, okay? From here now, come down 2 blocks, skipping one right there, and then down and over 2 like that. So you're going to have some dust there, and a repeater right there, and leave it on 1 tick. So what this is doing is this comparator is reading this signal here. So when this hopper has an ingredient in it here that we're brewing, this is going to read a signal length of 2, which 1, 2 is going to lock this hopper below it to keep the potions from falling out as we're brewing it. When the last item leaves here, in which case that's going to be the netherwort, which is why we're doing everything in reverse, that means the brew is done, and this is going to go back to a signal length of 1, which is going to unlock this hopper here and allow the potions here to fall out. Now, over here, we're going to add a couple more blocks there, and put a torch right there. This is going to be the kind of opposite of that one we just did down there, and it's going to lock this hopper here, which is our water bottle input. So they're always going to be in opposite states. So add some dust all on this. We got a little bit more to do over there in a second. So when that one is on, in other words, the bottom hopper is locked, this one will be unlocked, and when this one is locked, that one down there will be unlocked. So they're kind of a little yin and yang thing. And then over here, just add one, let's see, like this, with a slab right there and some dust on it. This is the third time we're going to be using that double length signal when we get a signal length of 2, and that's what's going to kind of connect up with all this other redstone up here, which is going to let us know when to start the next batch. So just a little quick overview again. Comparator, double line signal there into a repeater on a single tick, pointing directly into that bottom output hopper. And then some redstone over here, torch that is going to power that hopper right there that has the water bottles in it. Now go ahead and grab a sticky piston and go ahead and put it right there, pointing upwards, and put a block on top of it. This is going to be our 1-tick pulse limiter, which is going to ensure that no 2 droppers are being powered at the same time when we send just a short little pulse through all that chain there. Grab 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 repeaters, 1, 2, 3, and put all those repeaters on maximum tick. This is the line that's going to get fired when we want to start a new batch, and this delay here gives us enough time to get the potions out of the brewing stand and before we start firing more ingredients in. And again, this pulse limiter here is going to ensure that no 2 droppers fire at the exact same time. Now from there, put a block right there, which connects to the slab we had previously placed. Grab a torch right there and some dust right there. Your pulse limiter should fire up, and you should hear a bunch of droppers tick in the same process, all in sequence. Obviously, nothing's going to fire yet because we haven't filled them up, but we're doing good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we need to read the contents of our 4 main droppers there, that being these guys here that have our primary ingredients, and we need to know when any one of them is empty. So we're going to read them through these blocks here. We're going to do 2 on this side with a comparator and 2 on this side with a comparator. So let's go ahead and start over on this side here, and the first one is going to be the bottom one, so put a slab right there with a comparator on top of that right there. Block into it so the comparator is pointing directly into that block. Skip a block and drop down now, so there's an air block in between it with a block right there, and then pop up a block like that. Take a repeater and put it right there so it's next to the piston there, some dust there, and a torch right there, and go ahead and put a block on top of that torch like that. Now the next one we're going to do is 2 blocks higher, so go ahead and do one right there. Put a comparator on top of that with a block right there, and then this one's much easier, just need a torch right there. And then some dust on that guy right there. So I'll give you a quick little look at this again. Again, in the hole there, you can see we got the comparator with a solid block here, dust, repeater, 1 tick, block, torch, up, torch. So this line right here, this dust, if this dust is ever on, that means one of those 2 droppers that we just checked is missing its ingredients, in which case they both are right now. All right, moving on to this side. Okay, before we put the detection lines on this side for our droppers, I need to make a little correction here. This block right here on top of our water input here, you notice you can't open it because I'm an idiot, and that needs to be an upside down stair like that, okay? Again, it's this block right here, and it needs to be a non-solid block, obviously, so that you can open the chest. I forgot to mention that. So what we're going to do now is do the detection line for the other 2 droppers. But as we're doing so, we also want to leave ourselves open. Or I want to leave myself open here to having a kind of a tower of chests coming up right through the middle here for extra input and storage of water bottles, because as you guys know, water bottles are non-stackable. They're just a pain to deal with, and if you really want to fill up your system, a double chest honestly just isn't going to be that much. So I'll get to it in a second, but we're going to want to support a stack of chests towering up to the middle of this. So some of the redstone we need to do here is going to be aware of that, and we need to be careful not to power any of the hoppers that are going to be feeding those chests. So with that said, we're going to do read two more droppers here with comparators coming off. So first one is going to go right there with a comparator on top of it, and the next one is going to go 2 blocks higher. It's going to read the top dropper and throw a comparator on top of that guy there. A couple blocks there, and this one here on top is going to have a torch coming off the side of it. This one down here, we're going to come down a block and then up 2 blocks, so it looks like that, and grab a repeater and put it right there. And up here now, we're going to come over 2 more blocks with dust all on it like that. Now down here, you got this torch here that we did a little bit ago. Put a block on top of it and another torch, and you'll see that's going to connect nicely right into the one we just did here. So all we're going to have along the top here is a line that's like the, if it's powered, do not send a batch is what that represents. So again, in here, showing you what it looks like. I'll slide down right in here too to give you a close look. Comparator there, solid block with a torch. So this guy here, oh wait, this guy here needs a torch right there on the back. Almost missed that, so glad I did a little review there. All right, comparator into repeater, leave it on single tick, torch right there, 3 lines of dust, there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and add that hopper chest input tower that we were talking about. And again, this is optional, but I kind of recommend building it because I think you'll find that just a single double chest of water bottles as input isn't going to be sufficient. You might be running out a little bit too much. Again, you'll always be able to add them manually to the front here, but if you're going to be building this module together with a lot of other modules and have like a much bigger system, like a whole potion room or something, you might want to have one kind of over approach to filling water bottles with something running along the top of all these guys. So just an idea, food for thought kind of thing. So anyways, this is going to be a little tight in here, but go ahead and take a hopper now and shift click into the side of that chest just like that. Grab your regular chest now and 2 more like that with a hopper shift clicking into the side of that guy. A couple more chests there, and then swing back over on this side. You're basically making just one of your average chest towers that we're seeing. This one here is shift clicking inside of that chest right there. 1 more double chest there, and at this point you can do whatever you want, like a double high or something like that, just as your kind of entry point, your feed. So if you want to test it out, you can grab a water bottle and throw it inside there, and it should show up in your chest right there. There we go, there it is. So most of you probably know this already, but I'm gonna build a little kind of water feeding device here to show you the best way if you want to like bulk fill your chest storage system here with water bottles, because as you know, water bottles don't stack, but glass bottles do stack. So if you're gonna have water above all this, obviously be very careful. You don't want to spill water on top of this right now, that'd be bad. So I built a little thing here just to kind of show you how you might do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add water right there. New little sounds, love it. Grab go to game mode 0. And the best way to do this now is grab your stack of glass bottles and just right click and hold, and it's going to fill up your inventory first, but once your inventory is full, they're going to start spitting out just like this, and this is just a super quick way to dump water bottles into your feed system there. Just like that. Boop. Just about done now. All we need to do is kind of gather all of our detection lines together into one big kind of line here that's going to run the whole system here to let us know when to start a new batch, and then we got to hook up our lights there. So here we go. From this little torch tower over here, you're going to come up a block, up another block, down a block on an angle, and down another block on an angle, and it should angle right into this guy here, just like that. Now over here on our detection line on this side, come up a block and over. So we're looking at something that looks like this now. And then from this side right here, we're going to run this into the lamp here. So from this block, come up a block just like that on an angle. 1 more up on an angle, and then just a couple like that. So we're looking like this. And now just go ahead and spam some redstone everywhere along your lights, down here, on all of this, on this guy right here, on this, up your little archway and over and connect it down into there. So redstone everywhere, okay? And this is the line, like I said, that drives the whole thing. If this light is on, that means you are out of ingredients right now from one of the many reasons. Either you're out of one of your primary ingredients, or you're out of water bottles, or what have you. And of course, I forgot one block. It is going to be this guy right there. Okay, very critical. That's going to clip that line between those two systems. We don't want those messing with each other. Otherwise, you're going to get double ingredients fired from the dropper. So make sure you get that one block right there that I just added to clip that redstone line there. So one last thing I wanted to show you is what to do if you don't want to use all 4 droppers or all 4 slots. Like if you only want to brew a potion that requires 3 ingredients or maybe even 2 ingredients. What you can do is if you don't want to use this top dropper here, go ahead and just put a torch right here and just power it right there. It's going to leave this torch off the whole time, which is essentially going to make it think that it's never out of ingredients in that dropper. So you'll be good to go there. Just leave it empty. And then over here, if you want to do a 2 ingredient, just a real simple nether wart and a base healing potion or something, or whatever the case may be, just go ahead and put another lever right on this guy here and turn him on. And that's going to disable the monitoring on this dropper here. So you can shut down these 2 right there, just like that. All right, we are done and ready to load this thing up and let it start firing away here. But first, we have something very important to do, and that is, because we're using a trailing nether wart system, you can kind of look at it like these first 3 ingredients here, processed from bottom up, are going to go toward what we'll call potion number 1. And then this nether wart is actually going to be the nether wart used for the next potion, potion number 2. So what we're missing is actually our nether wart for our very first potion. So one time only, you actually need to come in here and manually put a nether wart into the brewing stand. Again, just one time ever to get the system going. After that, you can see I already added some blaze powder. You can go ahead and add that here. I wouldn't go crazy. A couple stacks and you're good for quite a while. We already have our water bottles. I've got glowstone. I've got gunpowder, and I've got a stack of nether wart. I don't have my melons yet because I'm going to make that my final ingredient. You can see my light is still on, telling me that a supply or an ingredient is missing. In that case, it is the melons. So let's go ahead and add a stack of those. The system should turn on automatically. We got our water bottles filled in. This is the nether wart that we manually placed in there's one time, but then in the hopper above, because we have the cobble, it can only take 1 ingredient. The next one obviously is melon there. And then let's see if we can swoop around the back here. I think it's going to be this guy right there. Great. Yep, you can see we got all the other ingredients, the glowstone, which just went through, the gunpowder, and the nether wart for the next batch. So there you have it. The lights are off, which means it's actively processing, and it's going to keep on going and filling the chest here. So once this batch is done, they're going to flow through right in here and fill this chest completely up. And when the chest fills up, it will stop and wait for us to pick up some supplies. So there you go, guys. All right, that's going to do it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, do me a favor and hit that like button. Show me a little love. I really do appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and consider subscribing if you want to see more tutorials just like this one. All right, this is Tango, and I am out of here.